welcome to this Citizenship and Immigration Fair. So happy to have you here this afternoon. This is the St. Paul Public Library, Rondo Community Library. We have 14 locations across St. Paul, and this is the most highly used library in St. Paul. In the back here, we have a welcome table. We will be having welcome tables at 4 of our libraries. They include Rondo here, the Rice Street Library, Hayden Heights Library, and Arlington. Carla in the back has a couple of flyers that provide information for individuals about resources in the community. So we welcome you to visit that table. Additionally, there are snacks in the back. Feel free to grab a snack at any time. And we do have a key for the restroom where Carla is. So if you need to use the restroom, Rukia is showing the key. Additionally, as we mentioned before, there are free COVID and flu vaccinations, regardless of your status, regardless of whether you have health care, it is free for everybody today. Again, welcome, and I'll turn the call over to Anito.
Thank you. All right, we're going to do a very quick presentation on naturalization, the process, and we'll start with Michelle.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Michelle. Before we start this presentation, I just wanted to say welcome. Really glad that you're here. Glad that you came today. This partnership in hosting monthly citizenship and immigration fairs began in September of last year. The city of Minneapolis and the city of St. Paul together have about 20,000 people, and that's a real estimate who are green card holders who have not yet obtained citizenship. And so this initiative includes trying to help people learn about the citizenship application process and connect people to resources so that they can actually apply for U.S. citizenship. In addition, there are many resource providers here. And I'm saying this again because this is recorded. This is the first time that we're recording a citizenship and immigration fair, so that people who are not able to attend today will also have access to this information. So in addition to our presentation, there are representatives from Driver Vehicle Services, talking about justice for all, from the State Attorney General's office, talking about legal rights and care, and yes. So again, we're grateful that you're here, and I'll just start with our presentation and go through these slides. And the first slide is why I become a U.S. citizen. So I'll just talk a little bit about the benefits of United States citizenship. So among the many benefits that come from applying for citizenship include the ability to vote in the U.S. election, the ability to apply for immigration status for family members. Once a person is a U.S. citizen, they can no longer be deported from the United States. Obtaining citizenship also helps protect minor children from deportation or removal, because once you become a U.S. citizen, you can automatically have your children, your minor children, become citizens as well. Once you're a U.S. citizen, you also have the freedom to travel outside of and return to the United States with no restrictions on the amount of time you stay outside the United States. You can also be eligible for certain government jobs that require U.S. citizenship. There are also many economic benefits to becoming a citizen, and there are a few that are listed here. Naturalized citizens are likely, as a group, earn between 50 and 70% more than non-citizens, and new citizens may see their individual earnings rise between 8 and 11%, and naturalized citizens are twice as likely as non-citizens to be homeowners. I wonder if I can just so people can see that. I'm going to talk quick about the citizenship application requirements. You have to be at least 18 years old. You must have been a green card holder or permanent resident for the last 5 years, 3 years if you're married to a U.S. citizen. You must demonstrate continuous residence and physical presence in the United States. You have to be able to read, write, and speak basic English. There are waivers available for this requirement. You must have good moral character. So that means you must not have certain criminal convictions on your record and other violations. You must have a knowledge and understanding of U.S. history and government. And I know at one of our tables, we have questions for the citizenship test on flashcards that you can study. You must demonstrate loyalty to the principles of the U.S. Constitution, and you must be willing to take that oath of allegiance. And I'll turn it over to Rhonda.
One of the most important things that someone can do who's applying for citizenship is have a legal screening. While applying for citizenship is pretty straightforward, it is possible that people have things in their background that could have them be denied citizenship and actually be put in removal proceedings. So it is very important to talk to a lawyer. There are several lawyers here who you can speak with to see if there's something in your background that would either prevent you or give you a reason not to apply for citizenship, so that you know ahead of time that you're going to be good to apply. Or if you decide to apply and there are issues, you can prepare and hire a lawyer to assist you with that application. And as I said, there are many, there's free legal services in the Twin Cities for people who want to apply for citizenship and need a screening, and several of them are here today. In addition, there is a waiver of the English language test requirement. Everyone who applies for citizenship has to take a test in English and also take a civics test. However, people of a certain age can get the English language requirement waived. So if you are 50 years of age or older and have been a permanent resident, you've had a green card for at least 20 years, you can have the English language requirement waived. If you are 55 years of age and have had a green card for at least 15 years, you can have the English language requirement waived. Now, if you're not eligible for a waiver of the English requirement, there are many organizations here today that can help you to learn English. So I would encourage you to speak with those organizations here today. In addition to the English language requirement, you have to take a test on the history and laws of the United States. A civics test is as it's called. Now, if you qualify for one of the language waivers because you're 50 or 55 years old and have been a permanent resident for 20 years or 15 years, you still have to take the history and civics test but you are allowed to take it in your native language. So if you're going to get the English language requirement waived, you still need to bring an interpreter with you to assist with the civics test.
So I'm just going to walk us through these additional slides. And again, we have a number of attorneys who are here who can talk to you if you have questions about this. So there are certain circumstances where if you've been in the United States for a long enough period of time and you're at a certain age level, you only need to study for fewer questions for the citizenship test. And you may be able to take your citizenship test in your own language using an interpreter. I'm going to talk for just a quick second about the medical waiver testing requirements too. I want people to understand this in the context of USCIS removes barriers for people who may experience more difficulty in going through the citizenship application process. And this medical waiver is one of those barriers that the government tries to remove. So if people have physical or developmental disability or a mental impairment that's lasted or is expected to last for a year or more, you can get a statement from a doctor or a psychologist that's filed with your citizenship application. This form is called an N648. And that can help you obtain a waiver of the testing, the knowledge requirement that you normally would need to have done when you apply for citizenship. So I'll talk just for a second about the filing fees and fee waiver and loan options, and we'll turn it back to number 2. So the filing fee, the amount that you have to pay to USCIS to file your citizenship application is normally $725. There are fee waivers available. That's a lot of money. And if people receive certain types of public benefits, if your income, the amount of money you earn, is below 150% of poverty guidelines, or you can demonstrate financial hardship, you can get a waiver of the filing fee. There's also the possibility of a reduced fee where you pay less for your application if you were between 150 and 200% of the federal poverty guidelines. One great development that first started in the city of Minneapolis, in the city of St. Paul, and then recently expanded to the city of Minneapolis, is a 0% interest loan through Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union to help people pay the citizenship filing fee. And since this wonderful program initiated in St. Paul, it's really turned.
Sure. The New American Loan Program is a partnership between the cities of St. Paul and Minneapolis and Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union. Under this loan program, a person can borrow up to $2,000 for the naturalization, to pay for the naturalization process. There is no interest charged, 0 interest. There is a $75 application fee. And the person is given 1 year to pay back the money they borrowed. At the end of that year, once you've paid off the loan, Affinity will return $50 of the $75 fee. So the cost to a person to borrow up to $2,000 for a year is $25. Michelle and I have information at this table here with the blue Minneapolis banner on the loan program. And I believe we have it in 5 languages. We have it in Spanish, English, Korean, Somali, and Oromo. So if you're interested in information on the loan program, please stop by the table. And with that, I'd like to say thank you for joining us today. And we're turning it over now, I believe, to the Attorney General's office for a presentation on workers' rights.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Webster, and I'm an Assistant Attorney General with the Minnesota Attorney General's Office. And I'm here to talk a little bit today about what the Attorney General's Office does and how you can help us with that. So the Attorney General's Office in general enforces civil laws. And what I mean by that is we're not enforcing the criminal laws that send people to jail or levy fines. We more so focus on issues that are affecting consumers and people in general. So that includes, for example, if you're a renter and you're having issues with your landlord. It can include if you make a purchase and you think it was fraudulent or that you were ripped off, something like that. And it also includes situations where you are having issues with your employer. So say they're not paying you correctly. What we do in those situations is we have a couple options. One is we can share information with you on possible solutions. Or if there's a government agency that's a better fit for helping you. We also investigate the reports that we receive, and we can also mediate. So that would mean you would sit in a room with whoever you're having a dispute with, your landlord, the business, and then we would have a mediator there who would serve as a third party, kind of like a referee, to help facilitate the conversation. And we also build lawsuits if it's a complaint where it's appropriate to bring one. I want to talk a little bit about the unit that I work in, which is the wage theft unit. In the wage theft unit, we basically receive reports from the public, different communities, about situations where your employer might not be compensating you lawfully. So what does that mean? A lot of the situations that come up are you're not being paid minimum wage. You're not being paid minimum wage. Maybe you're working 50 hours a week and you're only being paid for 40. Maybe your paycheck has deductions on it that you didn't authorize, so you're not being paid the full amount. Those are the kind of situations that my specific unit would look into. And the way we find out about these is people make reports to our office. There's a few different ways that you can make a report. You could call us. Sometimes we go out to communities if we're already aware of an issue and have a table where you can come report issues to us. And then the other way is you can submit a complaint online. And if you go to our website, there's a section that says complaints, and there's complaints for wage theft, landlord-tenant issues, consumer issues, but there's also just a general complaint form. So if you're not sure what to complete, just fill that out and we'll make sure it gets to the right place. Again, we really thrive on the complaints that we receive from the public. If we're not aware of an issue, it's hard for us to address it. So again, you're our best resource for figuring out what's going on and ways that we can help you. So I would encourage you to make a complaint. I know it can be a tough situation sometimes if it's your employer you're complaining about or your landlord. But again, that's how we figure out what issues to address. If you have any questions, my table's over there and I'm happy to speak with anyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. Next, we'll have a presentation with DBS.
Hello, everyone. I'm from the Department of Public Safety, Driving Vehicle Services. My name is Andrew James. I'm the Assistant Regional in the Anoka Exam Station. I've been with the department now since 2003. I have over here at my table a ton of information on how to obtain an ID or a driver's license using your passport, marriage certificate, and birth certificates that are in a different language that you bring when you come to this country. I also have information over here at the table of how much it costs for IDs and driver's license. I also have information at my table on how to obtain information on studying for either your permit or your driver's license knowledge test. I have information on proctors that help you study the information that you need to pass your permit or your driver's license test.
Thank you, Andrew. Again, I encourage everyone who's here, if you have questions, please stop by the providers that are here. Andrew is here from DBS to answer your questions, as well as Rebecca from the Attorney General's office. And I thank you all for joining us today. And I'm going to turn it over to Michelle for a second, if you'd like to.
So we're very grateful that you all were able to participate in today's Citizenship and Immigration Fair, and I hope you will take time to visit some of the providers that are here today. We're also very, very grateful for the commitment of the resource providers who are here today and have been with us through September of last year when the Citizenship and Immigration Fair started. This is our last Citizenship and Immigration Fair in 2023. And this is the reason why it was recorded, so that we can share this information with others and invite you to share this information as well and to connect with our offices, whether it's the City of St. Paul Immigrant and Refugee Program or the City of Minneapolis Office of Immigrant and Refugee Affairs. For Minneapolis, all you need to do is type OIRA Minneapolis onto the internet, and you can find the office and the information in multiple languages. So thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. And we'll see you again in 2024. Now before, and I know Adriana also has one message to share. So I'll turn it over to Adriana. Go ahead.
Well, my name is Adriana Galvan and I'm with the St. Paul Public Library. I would like to share a quick resource that we have. So if you want to, review the citizenship test, I invite you to go to Google. And then you can enter SPPL.org, then slash, and I have a QR code that you can scan to. Adriana, when you enter, you will see that we have a list of resources. The third one will give you an online site paid by the libraries in which you can practice the test. The handbook is there. You can read, listen, and download. And unfortunately, it's only in 3 languages, but it has 246 questions for people to review. When you study and review this, you can switch. You see it's a clean site, no commercials. You have the question, and out of those 246, the machine randomly is going to pick 40. So I recommend everybody to read the manual and practice. So you have this, and then you can switch from English to Spanish to Russian. So this is a free site, and you can review each one of the 40 questions in each module. And at the end, there are the signs and a practice test. So use this resource. And if you have any questions, just visit us at the table that is hosted by the public library. Thank you.